lead to the progress of society that will benefit the people, because you are not the one that is in government, in power, and you decide to withhold them, I will not give you my vote when you come.
I mean, it's a political race. Politics
we are
like
no longer
right?
in election.
And so, since the people say this is who they want, and then you tell them, yes, you can do it better than the other parties,
yes,
then why should I come and give you ideas? So you do it, since you can do it better than us.
Then we never had
what's the idea of an opposition? I mean, they should be able to spot the flaws. And
that's what I said. I said you coming to aspire to rule should be to bring in development, to bring succor to the people, to make improve the economic situation of the country. Opposition status, bring them down where they are performing, to ensure that they don't succeed. Okay. Then you ought not take our rights and support you. You should be able to also have the goodwill, the
blueprint and the manifesto and all of that, and so as well as their ideologies, right? And so every party comes and presents what they have. APC Tinubu. So how then? Why then should they actually do this when the results thereof, the accolades, the advantages would fall back to the party and the president himself, and not exactly these other opposition parties who came together to work in synergy?
It's okay. The situation you've just described is looking at the issue from a one-sided perspective. You're looking at it from one perspective without looking at it from the other side of the coin, to the extent that this, and also people will see the spirit of sportsmanship in them. Don't you also think that if Tinubu or P2B comes out with a blueprint like Obasanjo will always do, he will criticize the government. He will do his letter, his usual letter, and criticize the government, the aspect he will criticize. Then he will now offer his, not just criticizing, his opinion, his ideas, how he feels these things should be done. These are the things they should be doing. It's not only criticizing. Show that I lost. You are governing. I am giving you ideas. If they take them, okay. If they don't take them, okay. Don't you think that it will also endear them to the people? People will see ideas that hitherto they didn't see, or they wouldn't have seen. They will be latent in them, inside them. They will say, oh, he knows. But it will remain in them. But if they make this like doing letters or publications and recommending these things to the president and his cabinet and government in general, while waiting for election time, instead of just waiting to criticize alone, that is the aspect I am saying. That is the angle I am agreeing with Okechukwu Isiguzoro.
Okay.
You understand that after elections, that is my own ideology. That is my own perspective to election. Political party is just a vehicle. It's just a platform to gain power. The essence of using that vehicle is to govern the people. It's your desire to bring benefits to society, to better society, that should spur you to belong to a political party, to seize power, to govern. Okay. And that urge in you should propel you, should be able to propel you and instigate you and move you. You shouldn't sit by idly and be criticizing it only.
What's your thoughts on that, barrister?
You understand?
Now let's
you should be able to make input.
All right, then.
While waiting for elections.
Okay. The last story here says, the All Progressives Congress has reacted to Atiku Abubakar's criticism of President Bola Tinubu's administration, saying the People's Democratic Party 2023 presidential candidate is befogged with political envy. Atiku said Tinubu's policies had no concrete plans to achieve the remodeling of the economy that he promised after his inauguration, describing his policies as cocktails. Countering Atiku, Felix Morka, the APC spokesman, said in a statement titled Atiku Abubakar is befogged with political envy that the former vice president is too blinded by his ambition to appreciate the outstanding first-year achievements of the president. Morka also stated that Atiku was not in a position to dismiss Tinubu's ongoing policies as trial and error, and added that Tinubu remains unshakable in his commitment to building concrete blocks of progress and greatness for Nigeria. You know, by antecedents, you know, and by the continuous happenings in our political scene, it appears as though our political leaders do not exactly appreciate criticisms. You know, it's either tagged as insightful or trying to bring down the government, you know, and whatnot. Perhaps, maybe the way some of these political stakeholders tend to structure their criticisms, as it were, but oftentimes the response from the political party in question is not very friendly, you know, or acceptable to, in an accepting manner to the criticism that has been raised. Now here the APC is describing Atiku as someone who is befogged with political envy because he described the policies of Tinubu, the president, as cocktails, trial and error, basically. Now, what do you think about Atiku's criticism? Now, you've mentioned criticism in our previous conversation, how that, yes, the opposition parties definitely should do criticisms, but they shouldn't end there. They should be able to offer constructive criticism in order to, I believe that criticism as well is to help the object being criticized to do better, right? Or the subject, rather, to do better. But in our political space, it doesn't appear as such. It appears as though the one who's criticizing is trying to bring down the party being criticized and what have you. So, what do you think about Atiku's criticism? Because I also understand that Atiku is not the only person who has come out to criticize the Tinubu-led administration, I mean, in the past few days. The one-year anniversary has attracted quite a criticism there from different, you know, quarters, as it were. So, from Atiku describing Tinubu's policies as trial and error, as cocktails, and then APC's response to him saying, I mean, it's just filled with envy owing to the president's giant strides and all of that. What do you think about these two statements?
Criticism should be constructive, and we should distinguish the criticizing of a person and criticizing of issues. Criticism should be issue-based. It should be subject matter-based. It should not be about the person. If you say I'm a daft, that whatever I'm doing, all the thing I'm doing, I lack idea, I don't have ideas. You're not criticizing what I have done. You are criticizing me. You are talking about my person. And that is personal. In my response, I will also respond to your person.
But what if what you're doing comes off as lacking ideas?
Point out that thing that I have done and scrutinize it, bring it to the fore. If this is a policy you feel is anti-people, is anti-progressive, is defective and wrong, analyze that issue, criticize that issue. Don't talk about forgiving a mockery. Don't say I don't have ideas. I lack ideas. Don't talk about me. You understand? Okay. Talk about what I have done, because I have come to govern. Attack issues. Then we'll be able to discuss issues. That if you say I lack ideas, I don't have what it takes to do this, You're not talking about the issue. You're not talking about what I have done. You're talking about the person. And that is not the type of criticism that I recommend, that I suggest. I said criticism should be issue-based. If you say, oh, removing oil subsidy is wrong, analyze to us. Tell us why it is wrong. Tell us why retaining the subsidy will be beneficial to the people. That is what I mean. It should be issue-based. I agree. The economic bite, the bite is on everyone. I live in the society here, you understand? Mm. But you see, in constructions, there are various stages. And our economy has been on the retrogressive side over the years. The corruption has gotten endemic into our system, which has affected every facet of the society, every facet of Nigeria. It will take time for those anomalies to be corrected, to be brought to its normalcy. So it is too early, just as I said. So the policies they are taking is just like somebody going to a place and you have, it destroys the place and he's building and constructing. You don't know what, that you are not inside will not know what they are doing. So in the next 3 years, we will see whether the policies that Tinubu his policies are okay or not. Because by then, the results will be obvious. By then, we will see the results. Now they are at the embryo stage, the building, the gathering stage, destroying and building and reconstructing. So it is still too early to say they lack direction and they lack good ideas. You can't conclude at that. But we are feeling the pains. I will not say the policies are not biting on the people. Let me remind you, I was the spokesman of the Tinubu campaign organization in Rivers State. I was the director of campaign and publicity in Rivers State. And I supported concern. But we are also feeling the pains. But we are given benefit of doubt to see that his policies are well intended. They are impactful positively on the people. We'll be doing that in the next 3 years. Okay. If they don't, I will also, as I did for him, I will also do against him. Because my politics is for the people. It's for how society will thrive better. It's for the good of the society. It's not person-based. It's issue-based. I criticize issue-based. I don't talk about persons. So if we are criticizing